Average business owners focus on perfection. Smart business owners focus on delegation. Hi everyone, in this tutorial you are going to learn on why you need to use task delegation app to manage your team. So understand, delegation is the key. And for you to understand on why you need to use task delegation, I want you to understand the concept of 3 stages of a business owner. Now, this concept I have learned from Michael E. Gerber, who is the writer of this book called E-Myth. So, if you are someone who loves to read, books and who wants to upgrade themselves in their life, in their business, I recommend you to read this book called E-Myth. All right, in which the writer has told on why most small businesses don't work and what to do about it. Now, these are the concepts. One of the concepts which the writer explained in the book was 3 stages. So let me explain you. What are the 3 stages any business owner goes through? The first stage is called technician. ये वो स्टेज होती है जहां पे बिजनेस ओनर का जो बिजनेस है वो 1 मैन या 1 विमेन शो होता है. आप अकेले होते हो अपने बिजनेस को मैनेज करने के लिए. यू डोंट हैव एनी अदर टीममेट, राइट? एंड यू आर गुड एट योर टेक्निकल वर्क. But because you don't have anybody else, you delegate the task to yourself only. Now, this is that stage where business owner realizes that if he or she wants to grow the business, then he or she need to hire more employees. And then what do? You hire an HR agency and you start hiring more employees. Yes or no? And that's where you come to the second stage, which is called manager, where you end up hiring few employees. But in this stage, you become so busy in managing them that you forget on why you hired them on the first place. Now imagine in the first stage, you were just managing one person and that was you. And your all time was going on growing the leads, growing the sales. But when you hired a team, at least 5 hours per day started going on giving the work to the team, asking them whether they completed the work or not, and managing them, right? And all that time that you were spending in growing the business, that time started being consumed by the employees. And this is that stage where 90% of the business owners, including you, are stuck. Why? Because you come to the office, you give the team the work, and in the evening you follow up with them whether they've done the work or not. So people who are in this stage, who don't have any task delegation system, I call them chief follow-up officers. Chief follow-up officers. This is where you are spending most of your time, at least 4 hours per day, in taking the follow-ups and in reminding the teammates. And because team does not have any accountability, the reason is you don't have any task delegation app, and that is the reason they are delaying the work because of no reason. They are bringing excuses on the table. The third stage is called entrepreneur, where you understand, okay, many of my tasks are repeated tasks which I can delegate through automation. And if the automation can give me the report of employees or of departments, then I can manage my team perfectly and I can grow my business. This is the stage where you automate your follow-ups and you become chief growth officer, right? So the journey from chief follow-up officer to chief growth officer comes when you use task delegation app. Now, another concept which I want to bring in is there is a principle called Pareto principle, which is a 80-20 rule. It's called 80-20 rule. According to this rule, 80% of the task that you or your company does create 20% of the results only, and 20% of the task completed by you and your team create 80% of the results. It means there are only few activities which are really important, and if they get completed, your business grows. So it means it's not about quantity, it's about quality. It's not about how many tasks your team does. It's about when you delegate a task to them, can they complete the task on time with quality without any mistake? Because if you can achieve that, then even if you delegate less number of tasks, but you will have a guarantee that these tasks will be completed. Now, let me tell you something interesting. In your company, if overall you have, uh, in your company, if you have 100 tasks, all right, out of 100 tasks, let me tell you, 80% of the tasks are repeated tasks. For example, you give a task to your teammate, okay, call this client and sell this product. And if that teammate is in the sales department, don't you think that sales teammate should actually call the clients every day to sell the product, right? So that is a repeated task which the teammate need to do every day, which is a daily task. Or what if you want your sales manager to create a sales report and give it to you on Friday? But do you just want it one time or do you want it every Friday? Yes, obviously you want it every Friday. It means that task is a weekly task. Now, only 20% of the tasks that you give to your team are one time, 80% tasks are repeated activity. Now, when it comes to the task delegation, this is that one application where you have the capability and the option to delegate the task and to automate it and to make it recurring as well, which is daily, weekly, or even monthly as well. So we will get to know about all this, how to delegate that task and everything in the upcoming few tutorials. The purpose of this particular lesson was to make you realize that if you don't use this platform and if you just keep making excuses and if you just keep running after perfection but do not focus on delegation, you will struggle. But if you use this platform, excuses will become execution, right? Delays will become delivery, right? The frustration will actually become fruits, right? And your teammates will start delivering the results on time. So what are you waiting for? Go to the next lesson where I'm explaining you the overall overview of task delegation app. All the best. Click on the next lesson. I'll see you in the next lesson.